विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिनिति नामिनि नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिनि नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सखगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रहम अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्वकारण कारणम. Hare Krishna. By Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we have nicely progressing in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We finished 5 chapters, 5 slokas in the 7th chapter. The first 5 slokas. So in each and every sloka, we are getting a lot of knowledge, and we know that there is apara prakriti and para prakriti. Apara prakriti is the inferior nature, and para prakriti is the superior nature. So in this material world, what we see in terms of elements, atoms, electrons, protons, neutrons, all such things, periodic table, everything is apara prakriti. So that's what Krishna says, that bhumi, apo, anallo, vayo, kam, mano buddhirevacha, ahankaram mitiyam me binna prakriti. That is also known as binna prakriti. Apara prakriti is binna prakriti. Binna prakriti means it is separated nature. Apara prakriti means it's inferior nature. So this separated nature, which is separated from Krishna, Prakriti there is binna Prakriti. There is Krishna's separated nature. So there is the earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All these things. But this soul, Atma, is the para Prakriti. Atma is the superior nature. So that's what we need to understand, that we are the para prakriti, we are the superior nature, we are not inferior nature, but unfortunately we are in this inferior world, in this material world is inferior world, whereas Krishna's world, Goloka, is the superior world. So in this material world, everything needs matter, everything is like everything, including the sun, where light is produced, energy is produced, heat is produced, everything is produced in the sun, heat and light energy is produced. So everywhere everything is made up of matter. So whereas in Krishna's world, it is not made up of matter at all. So Krishna's world is completely spiritual. So that's what we need to understand the difference, because we are the spirit, we are not the body, we are the spirit, we are the soul, and Krishna is the super soul, and Krishna's world is also a spiritual world. So there is nothing is made up of matter there. So nothing is changing there. Everything is same there. So that's why Krishna is asking us, why are you suffering? Why are you struggling in this material world, which is made up of matter, where everything is changing? Everything is in our body, everything is changing. Our genes, they are getting mutated. So because of that, we are getting cancer and other diseases and all such things. So everything in our body is changing. Everything in this world is changing. The air we breathe is also getting polluted. So the water we drink is also polluted. So in this material world, everything is constantly changing. Nothing is same. So we cannot expect to live here forever. That is the point. So we are going to lose everything in this world. We cannot live here forever. But unfortunately, we think all the time in our life that this life is going to be forever. That's how we plan. That's how we think. So our daily activities are only with that kind of mindset, thinking that we are going to live here forever. We see every day a lot of people dying. We see a lot of people, they are dying just like that. They are fine one day, next day they die. And especially in these days with this coronavirus, so a lot of people, even healthy people, they get infected and then we don't, then that's it. So then it's a problem. They're talking about putting in ventilators and not able to breathe and all such things. So then literally without getting enough oxygen in our body, we will just die. So that way, this death is sure for everyone in this material world. That is the only thing which is we can assure that everyone that we are going to die. Nobody is going to live here forever. Everyone is going to die. But the main important point here is, why do we need to take another temporary life like this or not? That is the question. Should we come back here again and again go through the same cycle? Is the main question. In fact, the reality is that we have already gone through millions, unlimited number of repeated birth and death in this material world. Unlimited. We have come here, we have taken birth here so many number of times, innumerable number of times. So that way, this cycle is continuing forever. So now is the opportunity for us to break this cycle, for us to stop this cycle. We need to break this bondage. This is a material bondage. So as I explained yesterday, this is a bond, like chemical bond. All bonds we study in our physics and chemistry, especially in chemistry. In chemistry, there are so many bonds, bond energies, all such things we study. Single bond, double bond, triple bond, all such things. So like that, we are bonded. We are bonded to this material world. This Atma is glued. Atma is bound in this material world by this material body. So there is some kind of bond where you don't exchange electrons. It's only, it's known as hydrogen bond, or even other bonds are there. So it's like that, this soul is bound. The soul is bound inside this material body. So we are bound. So now we need to break. We need to break this bondage. We need to get out of this repeated cycle. So this Maya has put us inside this body, and we are stuck inside this body, and we are struggling and suffering inside this body. So we have got an opportunity here. This is a great opportunity Krishna has given to us. This knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is the great opportunity for us to release ourselves from this bondage, to break this bondage. So with the science of this Bhagavad Gita, if you understand this Bhagavad Gita fully, and then if you follow all the instructions given in this Bhagavad Gita, then we will be able to break this bondage. We will be able to reach the destination. Having gone, we will not come back here again. That is the main point. So we should not go anywhere else and come back here again and again. So that is the point. Even if you go to any world, even if you go up to Brahma Loka, we need to come back. Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. So even if you go up to Brahma Loka, you need to come back. That's what Krishna is saying there. Whereas Mamupete tu Kaunteya Punarjanma na vidyate. Whereas if you come to me, if you come to my world, if you come to my place, Mamupete tu Kaunteya Punarjanma na vidyate, then you will not take another birth in this material world. That's what Krishna is teaching. So we need to find a way to go to Krishna's world. We need to find a way to go to Goloka. So that concept, that science, we need to understand from this Bhagavad Gita that there is a place, there is a world where, having gone, we will not come back, where life is permanent and everything is blissful there. Brahmanohi pratisthagam amritasya avyayasya cha sasvatasya dharmasya sukhasya tasya cha. So there is the permanent place, amritasya. Sasvatasya, it's a permanent place. It is a very happy, very blissful place. There is Sukhasya Ekanti Tasya. It is the happiest place. Sukhasya Ekanti Tasya. So that is the status we need to achieve. We need to liberate. We need to free ourselves from the clutches of this Maya, from the bondage to this material way. So this bondage is known as, again, as I explained many times, this is known as Karma Bandha or Janma Bandha. So we are bound, we are forced to accept material body, we are forced to accept birth in this material world, and we are forced to suffer, forced to struggle in this material world. So the only way for us to free ourselves is just using this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So that way we need to understand this Bhagavad Gita. That's why in the second sloka of the 7th chapter we studied, Krishna said that I am explaining you both theoretical and practical knowledge, by knowing which I'm explaining you everything fully, by knowing which there is nothing else for you to know. That means you know everything. There is nothing else there for you to know. So we have got that opportunity. This is a great opportunity. So we need to make use of it. And by Krishna's mercy, if we get this complete knowledge, then we make use of this opportunity, then we are progressing. We are progressing towards Krishna. So that progress, whatever we make in this life, is going to be permanent. That's what we studied at length in the 6th chapter. So Krishna is saying very clearly, whatever effort we put, whatever progress we make in spiritually, when we are connected with Krishna, whatever activities we do, so everything, the results are going to stay permanently with us. We are not going to lose the results. Whereas materially speaking, whatever results we gain, we are going to lose. It has got beginning and end. The so-called happiness in this material world, it has got both beginning and end. So Adi Antavantaga Kaunteya. So it has got both beginning and end. And even if you go to demigods, if you worship them, get them some material benefits, so that is also will come to an end. Antavatu palam tesam tadbhavati alpametasa. So all those results will come to an end. So that's why Krishna is saying that you come to me. You come to, you will get the permanent results. You will come to my abode. So I will. That's what Krishna wants us. Krishna wants us not to suffer in this material world. That's why Krishna came here and gave us this knowledge. And Krishna is eagerly waiting for each and every one of us to forget this material world and go to Krishna's well. That's what Krishna is wanting. Krishna is expecting. But unfortunately, we are not ready to do that. There is a problem. The problem is that we are too much we are too much entangled in this material world. We are too much engaged in this material world, and that way we are bound. In fact, each and every activity is binding us more and more into this material world. There is a major problem. Without having this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, whatever action we do, it is binding us. Whatever action we do with attachment, it is binding us. So that means our bondage is getting more stronger. That means a person, materialistic person, when a person bonds in this material world, when a person takes birth in this material world, so at the time of death, his bondage to the material world has increased more. So, first of all, we are taking birth in this material world, it's because of Janma Bandha. Because of the Janma Bandha only, we are forced to accept birth. Janma means birth, Bandha means bondage. So, bondage to birth. So, since we are forced to take birth in this material world, and we are bound to this material world very, very strongly, and that is the reason we are forced to take birth in this material world. But if in this life, if we don't make any effort to reduce that karma bandha, that is janma bandha, or to completely get rid of that janma bandha, so then otherwise we will, if we get too much attached to material sense objects, if we do so much of activities with so much of attachments, then our bondage to this material world will increase even further. Then there is no way we can get out of this entanglement. So that's why it's very, very important for us to realize this very important fact. So now we are all studying Bhagavad Gita very sincerely. This itself shows that it is Krishna's causeless mercy is there with us, because the same Bhagavad Gita Krishna taught Arjuna 5,000 years ago. The same Bhagavad Gita Krishna taught Sun God Vivaswan millions of years ago. So that same Bhagavad Gita we are studying today. Krishna says that Imam Vivasvate Yogam Vivaswan Manave Praga Manugu Iksvakave Abrahut. Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam. I spoke this everlasting, this knowledge, time tested knowledge. Initially I spoke to Sun God Vivaswan. Vivaswan gave it to Manu. Manu gave it to Iksvaku. So evam parampara praptam imam raja rishiyo vidu sakale neka mahatto yogo nashtaga parantapa. So this was received through disciplic succession, but over a period of time, that disciplic succession was broken. So that's why Sayevayam Maya Tedya Yogaga Proktaga Puradanaga Bhakto Sime Sakacheti Rahasyam Yetad Uttamam. So that same old knowledge, Yogaga Proktaga Puradanaga, the yoga, this knowledge. So Krishna is referring this Bhagavad Gita to yoga. So when I was teaching this 4th chapter, these slokas, if you remember, each and every sloka Krishna is using the word yoga, yoga, yoga. Imam Vivasvate Yogam. So this yoga, I gave it to Sun. Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajarasya Vidu Sakale Nega Mahatto Yoga, Yoga Anashtaga Parantapa. Then Sayevaya Mayatedya Yogaha Proktaga Puradanaga Bhaktosi me Sakacheti Ragasyami Etaduttam. So this yoga, so what is yoga? People are in general, they say that there is yoga center, they go and do some asanas, some exercises, they think that that is yoga. What is yoga? Yoga is this Bhagavad Gita. This Bhagavad Gita is the yoga. So we are getting yoga now. We are receiving yoga. So Krishna is saying that I gave the same knowledge. Sayevaya Maya Tedya. So by me, in the beginning, Adya means in the beginning. By me in the beginning, when I spoke to Sun God Vivaswan, that same knowledge, today I'm explaining to you. I'm explaining to you. I'm explaining to you because you are my dear friend. And you are my bhakta, my devotee. Bhakta sime sakacheti. That's why I'm explaining, I'm teaching you this most confidential knowledge. This Bhagavad Gita is the most confidential knowledge. So it cannot be understood by anyone and everyone. So in order to understand Bhagavad Gita, one has to be qualified. So that qualification is being a devotee of Krishna. That is the ultimate qualification we need. The faith on Bhagavad Gita, that is the very important qualification we need. We have that qualification. That's why we are admitted into the school of Bhagavad Gita. In fact, we are like a school, we are like a university, we are studying this subject like a credit, and we are studying, we are understanding, and we are admitted because we are qualified. We have the faith on Krishna, we depend on Krishna, and we believe in Krishna. So that's why we are studying Bhagavad Gita. So that way, if we study this Bhagavad Gita fully, then our life will become very, very blissful, peaceful, and whatnot. So we will be getting out of this temporary miserable way. We are getting closer towards to Krishna. So that's what we need in our life. So this human life is so precious, and it's very rare, and it's a really great opportunity, and we should not miss this at all. So of course we are using it. We are not missing it. We are making progress. So now we finished 5 slokas in the 7th chapter. So the 7th chapter, so anyone who joins for the first time, no need to think that, oh, we are in the 7th chapter, because Bhagavad Gita, you can start from any chapter, because it is the same knowledge Krishna is giving, repeatedly giving in different slokas, in different ways, but the knowledge is the same, like Tattva Karma Pala Sangam, Nitya Tripta Nirasregam, Karmani Abhipravirthopi Naiva Kinchit Karoti Sagam. So one should give up the attachment to the results of the activities. That is the main thing. So here we study that Krishna said in the sloka number 4th and 5th in the 7th chapter, Krishna explained about the Apara Prakriti and Para Prakriti. Apara Prakriti is the material nature. There is Binna Prakriti. It's also separated nature. So that's what, as I said in the very beginning of this class, Bhumir, Apo, Analo, Vayu, Kam, earth, water, fire, air, and space. So mind, intelligence, and false ego. Mano, Buddhi, Ahankaram. So these are all separated material nature. So then Krishna is teaching the Para Prakriti. We studied yesterday in the 5th sloka. Krishna is saying that Apareyam Yitaswanyam Prakriti Viddime Param Jiva Bhutam Mahabahu Yayedam Daryate Jagat. So Jiva Bhutam is the Para Prakriti. So by whom this material world is getting exploited. So then Krishna is teaching us in the next sloka today, in the sloka number 6th sloka in the 7th chapter, Krishna is saying that Etatyonini bhutani sarvani ti upadaraya aham krishnasya jagataga prabhavaga pralayagastata etat yonini bhutani. So these two natures, etat means both Apara Prakriti and Para Prakriti. Yonini means the source of birth. That's what yoni. So etat yonini bhutani. So Krishna will say that Mama yoni mahat brahma tasmin garbam dadamyagam sambhavaga sarvabhutani tato bhavati bharata. That's what in the 14th chapter we will study. Krishna is saying that the source of birth, Mama Yoni Mahat Brahma. This Mahat Brahma is that which is the source of everything. Mama Yoni Mahat Brahma Tasmin Garbam Tadam Yagam. So I impregnate that Mahat Brahman. So from that Mahat Brahman, everything is produced. Sambhavaga Sarva Bhutanam. Sambhavaga Sarva Bhutanam means all these all this material world, spiritual world, everything, all this soul, everything is coming from there. So Krishna is saying that. So the same thing Krishna is saying here in the 7th chapter 6th sloka. Etat yonini bhutani sarvani iti upadaraya. So for all these things, the source of birth is I, myself. Aham. Aham means me. I am the source of birth for all these things. So Krishna is the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. In another sloka in the 10th chapter, Krishna says that Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Mattaga sarvam pravartate. So I am the source of everything. Everything emanates from me. So sarvam. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. So Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Mattaga sarvam pravartate. So aham sarvasya prabhavo means I am the source of everything. Mattaga sarvam pravartate means everything emanates from me. So I am the source of everything. Everything emanates from me. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaga sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam. Anyone who knows this will worship me. That is the main thing. Anyone who understands that Krishna is the source of everything, and anyone who understands that everything emanates from Krishna will worship Krishna. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitat. So the same thing Krishna is saying here. Etat yonini bhutani sarvani iti upadaraya aham krishnasya jagattaga prabhavaga pralayaga sada. So Krishna is saying that I am the source of all these things. Krishnasya jagattaga means completely. Krishnasya means everything. Jagattaga, this world. So I am the complete source of everything. And Krishna is saying that both prabhavaga and pralayaga. So I am the source of creation. I am the source of annihilation. So this material world is created by Krishna and this material world is annihilated by Krishna. So this material world is not permanent. That is the main thing. It is created and destroyed. This created and then destroyed. So that's what is happening. That's what sargepi nopajayante pralaye navyadanti cha. If you go to Krishna's well, anyone who takes shelter into this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita will go to Krishna's well. We are going to go to Krishna's well because we are believing in Bhagavad Gita. We have taken shelter into this Bhagavad Gita and we are studying Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is saying that idam jnanam upasitya mamasa dharmyam agata sargepi nopajayante pralaye navyadanti cha. So anyone who takes shelter into this Bhagavad Gita, this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, will attain my nature. And then when this material world is created, so they will not take birth. When this material world is annihilated, they are not disturbed. So that's why sarge pinopajayante pralaye navyadanti. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have got an opportunity to learn such very, very important time-tested knowledge. So by Krishna's mercy, if we continue this knowledge fully and understand this completely and share this knowledge with everyone and make as many devotees as possible, that way we can please Krishna to the fullest extent. So then we are definitely going to break the bondage of this birth and the janma and karma, everything, janma bandha, karma bandha, everything, and then we'll go to Krishna's will. There is no doubt about it. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, today we have successfully finished the 6th sloka in the 7th chapter. I'll stop now and discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.